this video, we're going to talk about multiplying fractions. We've kind of went over adding and subtracting fractions, and like I've said before, in my opinion, multiplying fractions is actually easier because you don't have to find a common denominator on the bottom. You can just multiply them together. Okay, so let's look at a problem really quick, and I'll show you one way to solve it, and then I'll show you the way that I want you guys to use, which I think is actually easier, okay, in the long run. Okay, so the first way is we are just going to simply multiply our denominators together and multiply our numerators together. So if we did 9 times 2 on the bottom, we would get 18, okay. If we did 6 times 1, okay, we're going to get 6. Okay, so we got 6 over 18. That is not simplified, so we need to simplify our answer. Okay, and we got to think what number can go into both 6 and 8. 3 could go, or actually 2 could go into both those, but a bigger number that would work would actually be 6. Okay, so we can take 6 divided by 6 and we get 1. Take 18 divided by 6 and we get 3. And so our answer would be 1/3. Okay, so that would be our answer that way. Let me show you a different way. And this is called, let me write it up here, cross canceling. Okay, so in the very beginning, whenever you start your problem, I want you guys to cross cancel. Okay, and we're going to look at the numbers diagonal from each other and see if we can cancel those out. Okay, and it's just like simplifying. Basically, we're simplifying diagonally. Okay, we're trying to see if there's a number that can go into both these. So if we're looking at these, we're going to look at these two numbers, okay, with each other, and then we're going to look at these two numbers, or vice versa, whichever one you want to do first. So if we look at 1 and 9, 1 can go into both of those, but if we divide both of those by 1, it's not going to change anything, so we're not going to do that. Let's look at these two numbers right here. Okay, so if we got 6 and 2, what number can go into both those? Okay, how about 2? We can divide both those numbers by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so we can simplify it a little bit before we start it. Okay, after we cross cancel, okay, we're going to actually look at the numbers above and below each other. Okay, so we're going to look at this 3 and this 9 together and see if we can cancel them. We're going to look at these two numbers, okay? So looking at this one first, the 1 over 1, okay, I'm just going to look over this because it's the easiest. We can divide 1 by both, but it doesn't change anything, so that's going to stay the same. 3 over 9, can we divide anything into those two numbers? Yes, we can. We can divide them both by 3. Okay, that becomes 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay, so we simplified all these numbers quite a bit. So now we're just going to multiply our numerators. 1 times 1, okay, equals 1. And looking at our denominators, 3 times 1, okay, is going to equal 3. Okay, so we got the same answer, but we actually came up with our answer whenever we cross-canceled. We did everything first, all the canceling first, instead of doing the canceling last. So our answer already came out simplified when we do cross-canceling. Okay, so let's try another one here. Okay, so we got 3/4 times 3/6. Okay, again, we're going to look at them diagonally and cross-cancel. Can we do 4 and 3? Is there anything that can go into both those numbers? No, so we can't cancel those any. Can we do 3 and 6? Okay, yes, we can divide them both by 3. So that becomes 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay, and now we're going to look up and down here, okay, after we've done our cross-canceling, and see if we can simplify any more. So can we divide anything into those? Yes, you can divide 1 into those, but it doesn't change anything, so we're not going to do that. What about 3 and 2? Is there anything that we can divide those? No, so we're just going to go ahead and multiply our numerators and their denominators. So 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. and that would actually be simplified already, and that would be our answer, is 3/8. Okay. All right, one more problem we're going to look at, because you're going to see some problems like this. Okay, and that is going to be 4. So if we just get a whole number, 4 times a fraction, 2/3, okay, how can we multiply that? Okay, the easiest thing to do is just to take our whole number and make it into a fraction. And the way we do that is just to simply put it over 1. So anytime we have a whole number, it can be any number, okay, and if you put it over 1, that turns it into a fraction. And then we can multiply it like we do normally. We're going to cross cancel first. Okay, so if we look at these numbers here, is there anything that 4 and 3, or can go into 4 and 3? No. Is there anything that can go into 1 and 2? No. I mean, 1 can, but that's not going to change anything. So then we're going to look up and down. Okay, 4 and 1, nothing that we can change. 2 and 3, nothing we can change. Okay, so this should come out already simplified as far as we can, at least. So 4 times 2 is 8 on the numerators. The denominators, 1 times 3, we get 3. We get 8/3. Okay, remember, I want you guys, if you get an improper fraction, which this is, I want you guys to change it to a mixed number. Okay, so we got to ask ourselves, how many times can 3 go into 8? Okay, so 2 times 3 would be 6, so it can actually go in there 2 times. If we did 3 times, it would be 9, so that wouldn't work. Okay, so our big number out front, okay, is going to be 2. And then we're going to take that 3 times 2, okay, and that's going to equal 6. Okay, so we're going to do 8 minus 6, and we're going to get 2 on the top, right? 2 on the top, and our denominator doesn't change, okay? It's 3 right here, so it's going to be 3 over here. So 2 and 2/3 is what 8/3 changes into, and that would be simplified already. So there's our answer. And that is multiplying fractions.